as always, everybody, just give us one more minute while we get everybody logged in here. And again, we're still in kind of the class of 2021. I think for the most part, we've got a bow on it. Just about everybody is, you know, where we're going. We know what it's going to cost. We've got the bill, in some cases paid the bill. If we're borrowing, we got that squared away. So most of you all are out the door. It's just a matter of enjoying the rest of August, enjoying the last week, 2 weeks, couple of weeks with your kid, your soon to be college freshman here, and that's kind of your only job right now. For class of 2022 folks, obviously we're now just at the starting point. So I imagine any questions will be from you all. But the you know, as always, any questions are welcome. And again, we're kind of still in a lull here. So if we don't have enough questions to take up the hour, we won't do it. But again, kind of fire away here. So I'll just speak to what's timely for the class 2022, where the Common App became accessible 12 days ago on August 1st. So where we should be as the student right now is we want to hopefully be starting to get dialed in on which colleges we're actually applying to. Whether or not that's the case, even if we don't know any school that we're applying to yet, we should at least be starting to work on the rough draft of the essay. That's the most time-consuming part of the entire admissions application process. It's one of the most important pieces of it, so that deserves the most time, the most attention. And it's going to be required virtually at every college. Now, some colleges have additional essays and things like this, but this one kind of main essay will be the primary piece for all of these colleges. Teachers or 2 teacher recommendations are going to be required, again, just about universally. So if students haven't requested those, thought about which teachers they want to be asking, now's the time. We really recommend doing that before the kids get back to school and the teachers get back to school. The earlier you are in line to request that recommendation, you know, just kind of human nature, the more likely you are to get the best product, right? When teachers are working on their 40th application, it makes it pretty tough to give the same quality that they're giving to the first couple of kids in line. So that's what we want to be doing now. We're still a couple months away from the financial aid applications being accessible, or I guess less than 2 months now, about 6 weeks and change here. October 1st is when the FAFSA and the CSS profile actually become accessible for next year. So that's kind of where we are for the class 2022. Again, in terms of how we can best be a resource, you know, now is a great time to start talking about particular colleges. You know, who gives the most financial aid, who gives the most scholarships. You know, my kid's thinking about being an engineer. What are some good schools on the West Coast that are not Caltech? You know, so this is where we can help you both here and showing you how to leverage the technology, College Aid Pro. So again, class 2021 should be done. If there's any stragglers with questions at the finish line, fire away. Class 2022, again, we know most of you are still kind of in summer mode, still trying to pretend that this is not real, probably to an extent. This is why we have lower attendance always this time of year. So we'll hang out for any questions and you know, for the next, say, 5 minutes or so. And again, if we get enough questions to take us up through the hour, awesome. We're happy to do it. Otherwise, we'll cut out early, as has been the case for most of the past couple of weeks here. But we'll hang on if any of y'all have questions. Okay, so question is, can you deduct credit card fees from a 529, I'm not crystal clear that I understand the question, but let me see if I can try to see what you're saying is if you pay a college bill with a credit card, for example, could you pay off that credit card with 529 money? First of all, you got to ask this question to your CPA. We're not CPAs. We have great working knowledge of 529s, but we are not a legal authority on saying anything that has tax implications, which ultimately this is a tax question, right? Is this a legitimate way to use the 529? And tell me if I don't have that right. Now, I have a feeling your CPA would tell you that the money's got to go directly to you and you and or the student in your checking account, and then to the college, or directly to the college. There's got to be kind of this clear line, so that so to pay the college bill with a credit card, and then to pay the credit card, I think your CPA will likely tell you that's not kosher, but you need to ask that question to them. Okay, so the question is, if we pay tuition payment with a credit card and there was a 2.85 fee, can the 529 cover this expense? Now, my guess for that would be yes, because it would go directly to the college. But again, if I'm understanding this correctly, but again, any tax implication questions to make sure that you're kosher and we're kosher, you got to ask directly to your CPA. But I do appreciate the creativity. And of course, it depends on who the CPA is as well, right? Some, some are more aggressive than others and are very comfortable leveraging in type of gray areas. So the timing of the FAFSA is the same every year. And the CSS profile every year becomes accessible on October 1st for returning students. So upperclassmen, generally speaking, the timelines are later in the year. Usually the FAFSAs and CSS profiles are not due to the spring. Most colleges want to take care of the incoming freshmen, so the class of 2022 first. Then they say, okay, sophomores, juniors, seniors in college, get your applications done later in the spring. Now there's exceptions, right? Just like for those of you that have been with us the whole year, some schools will have earlier deadlines than that. Some of them have the same deadline. So you got to obviously be specific on what is your particular college's returning students deadline. But you'll start getting notified right around October 1st from the Department of Education, from FAFSA, hey, next year's FAFSA is ready. But it becomes school specific. So for CFS, so any of you that are actual CFS clients that have hired us from a one-on-one capacity, how we work is subsequent years for us to do just financial aid applications are $300, $299. So pretty steep discount for subsequent years, but we'll send out notifications in the fall, to upperclassmen, our returning clients, returning students, to say, hey, time to start thinking about next year. If you want us to do it, it's $299. Let us know. If you want to do it on your own, here's what you need to go tackle that. Most of our clients stay with us, but obviously that's everybody's individual decision. Okay, if you receive financial aid and direct parent loans, when do you start making payments? So any of the federal government loans, and for most loans in general, most, but certainly the plus loans, certainly the direct student loans that you got through FAFSA, payments are not required until 6 months after graduation, but there are no prepayment penalties. And if you've completed a plus loan application, they're going to ask you to want to start making payments right away or defer it till after graduation. So you would have, or you will have, the option of that. So again, no obligation to start making payments until 6 months after graduation, but you should know the interest does accrue while the student is in college as soon as that money is dispersed. So to the extent that you can, the recommendation is start making payments right away, even if they're small, right? You can be really, really small, at least keep the interest at bay, but no obligation until after graduation. Yeah, and the loan that's in the student's name, the federal government loan, should that come from their account to build their credit? It doesn't matter who pays it. So if the student pays it, or the um, grandparent pays it, the aunt pays it, the parent pays it, it doesn't matter. It's in their name no matter what. So they're going to get the credit. Do I think the accountant should absolutely know the answer about the credit card fees and 529? I have no idea. I have no idea. Um, you're probably going to get the full gamut. My guess is the more astute accountant that has more experience with 529s is going to know it no problem. And the one with less experience with this particular question, maybe less so, but I think they will know where to go to get a firm answer. Okay, y'all, let's give it 4 more minutes till 20 after, again, unless we get questions keep coming. Okay, guys, let's give it a going once, going twice. Okay, everybody, have an awesome rest of the week. You know where to find us with any questions, pop them into the community, and we will see you in a couple weeks.